going to show you how to pick up stitches. Picking up stitches means creating new live stitches where there aren't any. So we can create stitches here and begin knitting out, and create stitches here and knit up. It's a bind off edge for the side of the work, or we could do it on the cast on edge. Pretty much anywhere you like. So to do so, just hold the yarn as you do to knit. I'm doing continental first. And poke the needle through pretty much any available hole you want. It's ideal to have 2 strands of yarn, to go under 2 strands of yarn. If you want to go under 3, if that's easier, you can do that. I avoid going under 1 strand because that can stretch up and create a rather large hole. But two strands or more, we're just going to go right in there, wrap the yarn around the needle as if to knit it, and pull it through. So we've added a stitch onto the needle. And onto the next one. There, you can see there's an available hole here, or here, or here to pick up stitches in. If we're doing socks, this is a slip stitch edge. Typically socks, you just pick up 1 stitch for every large hole, every slip stitch. So we'll do that. Like so. This actually can be a little tricky to get to work. Some people prefer to use a crochet hook to grab that yarn and get it through. You can do that. I'll just show you English style. So into the hole, wrap the yarn. I tend to pull out and then make sure this strand is nice and tight, and that makes a lot of room to pull the stitch through. It comes through easily. And I'll show you quickly, if we were not, sometimes you want to pick up more stitches than I'm doing. And so let's work a couple stitches into this hole, into these holes. So now I'm doing 1 every row. A common ratio is, if you're going to be working in stockinette stitch, it's common to pick up 3 stitches for every 4 rows. If you're going to be working in garter stitch, it's common to pick up 2 stitches for every 3 rows. Now we'll be working on the top edge, and we have 1 bind off stitch for every stitch. And because we're working in the same orientation with the same needle size, 1 stitch per stitch is ideal if we want this article to lay flat. I haven't done a nice job in the corner there. I'm just demonstrating here. Probably could have picked up another one in that corner. So I'm just going again under 2 strands of yarn. Like so. Bind off stitches can be very tight, and especially if you're going to be picking up stitches into those bind off stitches, it's great to bind off with very big needles, you know, twice as big even as what you knit on. Makes for a nice, easier, more roomy stitched. I did this on the same size needle, and it's pretty tight to get in. So that's that, and then here we have a cast on edge. This is long tail cast on, and that creates a wonderful, easy to get into 2 strands to pick up a stitch into. So that's the basic idea. Just look for a couple strands to get under with the needle and wrap the yarn and pull it through. You've picked up a stitch.